Hi, my name is Jacqueline Sergi and I'm a student here at RIT. I'm here with Dr. Fernando Naveda, who is RIT's Calendar Conversion Director. He's here to talk with me today about RIT's transition from quarters to semesters. Now this is very important information for the entire RIT community, but it's especially important to the freshman class, who may have only briefly heard about this great undertaking. Well, Dr. Naveda, I would like to thank you very much for taking the time to speak with me today. I'm sure the RIT community has a lot of questions about the transition from quarters to semesters, and I myself have some questions for you. And I'd like to get started on what I think is the biggest question on everyone's mind, which is why is RIT switching from quarters to semesters?
Thank you, Jackie, for doing this interview. RIT finds itself in an increasingly isolated position with regards to other universities that have already moved to the semester model. That translates into lots of opportunity for faculty and students to work with their counterparts in other universities, study abroad, or student exchange programs are good examples of that. That is something that we believe will be greatly enhanced once we move to semesters, because the greater majority of the universities in the US and abroad are actually in the semester model. There is also the aspect of recovering from unexpected situations during your academic year. When you're a student, and I'm sure you have experienced this, in the quarter system, if you get sick and you're out for a week, losing a week of classes is a lot of time. And the semester model will translate into more opportunities for students to recover from those situations. There is also the aspect that students will be taking fewer courses in the semester model, and therefore you will be able to go deeper into some of these subjects as you're taking less material, if you will, which will also translate into fewer exams. And last but not least is when you are on break, we would like you to enjoy some time with your friends who may be going to other schools who are also on the semester system. So when you get back home, you will be on break together with your friends, and that will, we believe, will improve your performance here at school as your social life also keeps going.
So what will the academic calendar look like under the new semester model?
We will start the fall semester in late August, and it will run all the way through about the third week of December, with a Thanksgiving break in the middle. And then there will be a winter intersession, which will run sometime in January. It will be roughly 3 weeks. And then the semester, the spring semester, that will start in late January and will run all the way through May, with a spring break in the middle. I'm sure you are keenly aware of that one. And then there will be a semester, a summer session that will run for about 10 weeks.
So how will this calendar conversion be implemented here at RIT?
Well, it is a very ambitious 4-year project. During the first year, which is already running, if you will, we start sometime in late April, May. We are looking at the big picture, the architectural aspect. During this time, we are looking at every program and what courses they need from other programs. Physics and mathematics are clear examples of that, liberal arts. And we're trying to make them fit within certain parameters, whatever they are. These programs need to be sent out to the state of New York sometime next year, so we need to prepare for that. So during this time, during this first year, we're also looking at one key piece of this whole undertaking, which is advising. So we are bringing in a number of student advisors that will help us train many other student advisors later on to help students make the transition. So the second year is where the training of student advisors will take place for the most part. The third year, which will be the year prior to the actual conversion, we will have student advisors meet with every student at RIT to make sure that they understand how their credits, their quarter earned credits, will transfer into the semester model and what is left for them to do. Now, this third year will be more heavily into student advising. That doesn't mean that student advising will not take place, at any other time. Of course, we expect our students to be engaged and our advisors to be engaged with the students. The fourth year is more of a, let's look at what we did and see how we can improve on that. So I call it the cleanup year. During that time, we're going to look at the big picture, examine what we have done, tweak with a few things that I'm sure we will miss, and move forward.
How are the courses going to be organized under the new semester system?
Well, we have picked a model called the 5x3 model, okay? And that is, for the most part, students will be taking 5 3-credit courses each semester. The semester extends for 15 weeks. So there will be a limited number of courses, which will be 4 credits, okay? Now, classes will meet Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for 50 minutes, or Tuesday and Thursday for 75 minutes. The 4-credit courses that may appear will be made fit within this particular scheme.
Now, in addition to courses, one of the things that RIT is most well known for is its co-op program. How do you see the co-op program working under the new semester model?
That's a very important question because we remain committed to co-op education. So in the current model, let me just take a step back. In the quarter model, the co-op is defined as one block. And one block roughly equals 1 quarter. That's 10 weeks of class, if you will. So if you are in a program that requires 4 co-op blocks, you are basically out for about 40 weeks working out there. In the semester model, because the semesters consist of 15 weeks, and the summer consists of 10 weeks, and the intersession consists of 4 weeks roughly, then we may not have the luxury of counting blocks. So we may focus on weeks. As we speak, there is a committee that is focusing exclusively on that particular question because it is a very important aspect of the student experience here at RIT, and they will be coming back with recommendations. What I described to you about counting co-ops in terms of weeks is one idea that I have, but this committee will be making a recommendation for the entire university, and they will come up with recommendations like count weeks, count points, count courses. We don't know, co-op courses, if you will.
Right. So now with all these changes going on, how is RIT going to help the students transition to the new semester system?
Very important question. This is a two-way street, okay? And we expect students to participate through the information sessions that we intend to call. There is going to be a lot of information that's going to go out there in the form of printed, 3-folds that we put on tables at Gracie's or any other cafeterias. Maybe through student government, we will have meetings. Advising is an important part, okay? The fact that we said that during the third year of the conversion, advising is going to be very strong doesn't mean that that's the only time when we expect you to be talking to your advisor. We actually encourage students to come meet with their advisors, with their department chairs, come visit the conversion website, and perhaps look at other opportunities. We may be thinking about deploying a Facebook presence or a LinkedIn presence. All these are things that are going to be deployed exclusively for helping students understand and make the migration into semesters.
So it's very important for students to stay engaged in the information process.
That's right.
So now, one of the many incentives to come to RIT is the quarter system. So can you kind of give a comparison between the quarter system that we currently have and what the new semester model will be?
Yeah, I think that the semester model has presents you with the opportunity to go much deeper in subjects. To me, that's one of the biggest advantages. So you have 15 weeks, meeting 3 times a week or twice a week for 75 minutes each time to dive into a specific subject. To me, that also translates into more interesting projects through the semester. With a quarter system, projects had to be very artificially confined to the 10 weeks, and that's all you get. You know, I understand that you come from engineering.
That's correct.
So you had the opportunity to do your senior project, which was hopefully a year-long project or something along those lines. The semester system, I think, lends itself much nicer to do that. Mm-hmm. If you couple that together with the opportunity of diving deeper into specific subjects, I think you come out with a much more enhanced student experience, academic experience at RIT. When you put the whole thing together with the opportunity to recover from unexpected happenings in your life, I think that the overall experience of students here at RIT will be greatly enhanced as compared with the high-paced quarter system.
So now, another big question is, how is this conversion going to affect students in the future? Do you anticipate it costing any additional time towards graduation or any additional money?
Not at all, okay? The president made a pledge for all of RIT to the students to the fact that there will be no financial impact as a result of the conversion on tuition, and that their time to graduation will remain intact. So if we assume that, for example, yourself, you're a diligent student and you came here this year, we will expect you to graduate 5 years from now, including the year-long co-op experience, okay? That's our pledge.
Great. Do you have any final thoughts about the transition from quarters to semesters?
Yeah, like I said before, we would like you to remain engaged, to ask questions, to visit the conversion website, which is at www.rit.edu/conversion. To read material that will be presented to you. We're going to make every effort to keep everybody informed. Meet with your department chair. He or she will be a very good source of information. Talk to your friends, okay? That's good, okay? But you gotta realize your friends may not know everything, okay? So I encourage you to talk to your friends and then validate everything they tell you with somebody who is in a position of knowing a little bit more.
Well, Dr. Naveda, I would like to thank you very much for taking the time to speak with me today. I'm sure the session was very helpful to clear up some of the big questions that the RIT community was having in regards to RIT's transition from quarters to semesters. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Jackie. Thank you for taking the time to interview me.